content here with a review that I am very, very excited for. As you can see, today I am bringing you the Transformers masterpiece Takara MP-17 Prowl. Honestly, I do not have any other Japanese masterpiece figures, and I never planned on getting this guy because I was never going to pay any online prices for this guy. But today, well, on Saturday, I was at New York Comic Con, and they had this guy for $80, and I'm like, this is the only chance I'll really ever have to get him. So I picked him up, and I am so happy with my choice. As you can see, we have MP-17, the Cybertronian military strategist Prowl, with his licensed Nissan Fairlady 280Z-T vehicle mode. He's obviously the police car. Obviously, the first of the trio that we're getting of this mold. We're getting Blue Streak, Prowl, and Smokescreen. I'll probably only get Prowl because I'll never see the other two in America. So this is probably the only one I'm ever going to get. But, you know, never thought I'd get him, so who knows, maybe I will get the others. You can see a whole bunch of stuff that I can't read. On the side, you have Nissan Fairlady, Takara Transformers Masterpiece, his vehicle mode there. On the top, you got Transformers Masterpiece with a reflective logo. Very cool. Very nice packaging. I've always known that this is nice packaging, but now that I have it in hand, I can really tell. You can see on the back his vehicle mode, how he fits in Prime's trail, like a lot of these small vehicles, like Sideswipe, or just most of these small cars do now. How he scales with MP-10, some of his weapons being his rifle and his shoulder cannons, probably a bio that I cannot read. Yeah, that's really about it for the box, so let me get this guy open so I can give you guys a look. So first I'm going to show you everything that comes in the box package with Prowl. First you have this little slip that you get whenever you buy a Japanese Transformers toy. I have absolutely no idea what this is. There's a code there. You want this, take my code, there you go. I'm not going to use it. Next thing is his Masterpiece collector card. We have Transformers Masterpiece, a very, really cool picture of Prowl right there on the front with an Autobot logo in the background. MP-17, Cybertronian military strategist. Prowl, very cool. You can see his robot mode, his Nissan Fairlady mode, and tech specs of which I cannot read, and probably a bio of some sorts that probably says Prowl. So that's that, which is very nice. And then finally, you get black and white instructions. So that's nice, and obviously going to help you transform him. And then you get a very cool kind of thing on Prowl. You can see the Nissan Fairlady 280Z-T, and then Prowl, probably bios on both the car and Prowl himself, but I can't read that because I don't speak that language. And you can see the Transformers, More Than Meets the Eye, Masterpiece Nissan, and a very, very cool picture of Prowl right there. All of that artistic drawing of him. You can see top, front, side, and rear view of the car. There's the car, and you can see, excuse me, some very interesting tech specs on the car itself. Probably given to them directly from Nissan. You can see Prowl with some actual English tech specs right there. Very cool robot mode picture. You have front view, side view, and rear view of Prowl's robot mode. Over here, they show you some pictures from the G1 cartoon. You can see his semi-automatic rifle, probably a bio of some sorts there. Prowl right there using the rifle and how to have him hold it in his vehicle mode and robot mode. His shoulder cannons and picture of him from the G1 cartoon right there, and how you can deploy those. So that's pretty much it for everything that came in the box. You got the instructions, the collector card, and whatever this slip is. I have no idea what that is. Now let me get Prowl in here. Alright guys, here we got the big man himself, Prowl, in his Nissan Fairlady mode. This car is beautiful. Not only is this a fantastic looking car, but it is 100% what Prowl looked like in the G1 cartoon. This amazes me to a huge extent. One thing that kind of disappoints me is the wheels are plastic. Really would have liked to see some rubber wheels on there. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm still a little sick. But it doesn't really bother me all that much. You can see a very nice Autobot logo there on the hood. What I imagine is a Nissan Fairlady mode, or Nissan Fairlady symbol right there. You can't really see it, but that's a Z on that little circle right there. You can see it. That's a Z, probably for the Z in Fairlady. You can see some really cool, like, detailed headlights right there, some, like, flashers, police highway patrol, the black and white color scheme that we all know and love, the very cool back of the car with some tail lights and reverse lights. You got the back windshield, you got his obviously light bar, just very, very cool, and I would imagine he'd look very good next to Masterpiece Red Alert. Now, I do not have it, Sideswipe. So if I did, I'd probably compare them in the vehicle modes. One thing, as a comparison I can show you is, here is a Revenge of the Fallen. I think this was a Scout class figure, so this is about the size of, I say it's a lot smaller than a Voyager, but it's a little bit bigger than your, no, actually, I'd say this is the size of your average deluxe. Maybe a little bit bigger, but, yeah, I mean, it's small because it's in scale. I mean, the box is pretty small. The box is about the size of a deluxe size packaging, so I wouldn't imagine the figure being any bigger. Plus, he's got a scale with the other Masterpiece figures. For his weapon, you have his semi-automatic rifle, is I believe what they call it. Two pegs on this gun. You can see he has this small one, which is actually for the vehicle mode. And then when you flip this down, he has this other handle, which is obviously for his robot mode. To attach to the vehicle mode, you can see on the back of the light bar, there's a little hole. You just take this, and you can slide that in right there. And then you have Prowl with a weapon in his vehicle mode, and it can pivot up and down. So, yeah, I mean, that looks okay. I mean, it doesn't look stupid. It doesn't look fantastic. It's okay. Very cool. You can see, let me get to this, because this actually kind of bothers me. You can see that these back tires don't really rotate. It's a little cumbersome to, one, get all the tires on the ground, and two, have both of the front tires not do this. And I'm barely pressing down on that tire, and that's just making that noise. So, it really makes me upset that I can't really get all the tires down. Maybe it's just me not being able to transform correctly. But, other than that, fantastic looking vehicle mode. This is just G1 spot on all the way. And if they didn't get the license from Nissan, we would have been in trouble because this would not look as great. Now, obviously, most likely, we're not going to get a U.S. Hasbro release of this, because if the Takara version is licensed in any way, like Nissan, or how Sideswipe was licensed by, I think, Lamborghini, I think it was, if it's licensed like that, they won't release it here, or if it's a weapon like Megatron, they're not going to release that here. Reasons we get Soundwave and Acid Storm is because they're both not licensed vehicles, so that we can get Hasbro releases of them because they're not licensed. Why we can't get licensed stuff in the US, I have no idea personally. Alright guys, one thing that you did see on the box is that all these small Masterpiece cars, like Sideswipe, Prowl, they can fit inside Masterpiece Optimus Prime's or MP-10's trailer. So to show that off, here is his trailer all opened up. Here's Prowl, and I mean, he wouldn't really be able to back in because like the tires come off the ground, but he will fit. You can fit him all the way back inside there with a little bit of extra space. It's a little bit dark in there, you can't really see much. Which, one thing I'm actually noticing now is there's a line of, like, light in there because of the crack in his trailer. But, very cool, and then you can just take this, close this up, and then Optimus can haul Prowl wherever he needs to go for the day on his mission, and then when they get there, bam, boom, kapow, open that up, and then Prowl speeds off to wherever he needs to go. So, yeah, that is very cool. But, I think the only logical thing to do right now would be to get Prowl into his robot mode. So I think we shall do that now. So what you would probably want to do first is come underneath the Prowl, and you can see his arms, little arms tucked up underneath there. What you want to do is you want to take that this whole arm section, and, well, if they unpeg, that's fine. And take it and rotate it up. And then what you want to do is you want to rotate it out to the side, and then rotate it, or unfold it, so that his arms are fully extended to the side. I know it's a little hard to see with all this black meshing in here, but take this little black flap section, you'll see it on your figure, and just pull that up like that, so his head will be able to get clearance. Put your thumb, or any finger underneath here, and you kind of just push, and take this, and lift. It might be a little hard to get unpegged, but you feel like you might break something, so be careful. Kind of just take that, kind of leave that up like that, and you can take his head, take it, and then you can see these two little black posts or pegs right here where my pointer finger is. You can see those. Now, when you bring his head up, those are what prevent you from, I guess, bringing it up all the way. You can see I'm pushing, and it just stops. I don't know why that's there. If you want to shave it down so they go up, his head goes up all the way. I imagine it's so in the robot mode it's not just flopping up all the time, but you don't want to go past those. You just want to stop there. And then you can see these two little groove sections in here. What you want to do is you want to take these little mirror sections from under here, take those, and just fold that in there. And then you want to kind of take these and put them in there like so, and get them as much in as you can, because you need to make as much clearance for something else as you can later on. What you want to do, I guess, or what I would want to do now, is take these doors and kind of just pull that apart, take these doors, wiggle them out, take those out, and that's going to kind of loosen up this whole section. Take these doors, use a ratchet joint to get them up. And then this part here can be kind of tricky. You need to get these sections down into this little hole right here. And if you don't have enough clearance, like I said before, they're not in all the way, it's gonna make this a lot harder than it really needs to be. You can take these arm sections, and these will rotate up like so. And take these arms, and you can kind of just get these ready for what they're going to be later on. You can see this little black section here. There's a little tab section right here that I'm touching, and then there's a little slot up in there. You can see right there that is going to go into that. So then just kind of take that and then push that up, but then you also want to, like I said, you want to make sure these are together so that you have enough clearance to get that through. But then you also want to make sure this is going up in here into the tab into the hole that I showed you. But see, I don't have them pushed together all the way, so it's not giving enough clearance. There we go. I think I got it. So push that up, and then kind of just peg it in. And like I said, I don't have enough clearance, so it's not really going in flush. Yeah. You see, this is a problem. With a little bit of finagling, you'll get that tabbed in all nice and smoothly. But what you want to do next is take this section, and yes, you can take it out of shoulder cannons, but we're going to get to that once he's all done and transformed, so just leave that for now. Fold that in, and then there's two little tabs there and there that will go into the slots there. So kind of just bring that up and get that all tabbed in, and here you have Midget Prowl. So let me just angle my camera. Now these legs, they're a little cumbersome, but with a good understanding, you can get it done with no problem. What you want to do is you want to take the tailpipe, flip that up, and then this other black section on this side might be a little bit harder because you don't have any something to pull it up with. But if you just do a little bit of pulling, you get that out. Boom, done. Then you want to take these sections, rotate these up, rotate that up, and then you want to take the legs, go ahead, separate those. And then you want to come around to here, and then you're going to be able to, like, if you have nails, you can put, this will make it a lot easier, kind of just tug on this main section here until this kind of just comes apart like that. Get his arms up out of the way. And then just kind of rotate it down, and you see this little white flap right here. You want to make sure that is pushed all the way up like so, and then you want to take this foot, or, well, the back of the car, and then kind of just bring that down, and then flip this up to fill up his foot, and then take this little window section, rotate that down, and you essentially have his leg done, and then you just extend it, and there you go, have a leg done. Do the same on the other side, pull that down, pull that down, flip that up, flip the window down, extend the leg, and then you can rotate his waist around. And then once you get all of his limbs and such all situated, ladies and gentlemen, here you have Masterpiece Prowl, or MP-17, in his robot mode. This guy is awesome. If you're not a G1 fan and you don't like G1, don't get this. It's a waste of your time, a waste of your money, waste of everything for you. But if you're a G1 fan and you just like Prowl, like you don't love him, but you just like him as a character, you are going to love this thing. This is everything you could want in a Masterpiece and G1 toy. Well, G1 Prowl. This is 100% G1 accurate. The worst part, in my opinion, the hollowness in the back of his feet. Other than that, this thing is fan-friggin-tastic. For his articulation, he has a swivel joint. His head swivels, and then it looks up, which is a good amount of up, and then it looks a little bit down. His shoulders are on, ball joints. They swivel up and down, and then the shoulder itself is on a ball joint. It swivels there. It has a joint there, and then has another joint there. The wrists swivel, and then they have these four fingers are articulated at this joint. You can see his hips are on a universe joint, so they go in and out, side to side, and they also swivel. He has a double knee joint, so that's that, and then his feet go in and out, forward, back. They do whatever the heck you want, because this is 100% Masterpiece beauty. Now, to get him, he's actually standing a little lopsided. There we go. To get him to hold his gun, what you gotta do is you gotta take his hands, open it up, and you can see how his hands are actually molded. Well, I actually moved it out a little bit too far. You can see there's a little peg all the way in the back. And then you just gotta take his gun, flip this handle out, and you gotta push it all the way back in there. If I could get it. There we go. Peg that in. And then wrap his hand around it. And then you have Prowl holding his gun, which is just really, really awesome. Very, very cool. Bam. Bam. Like I mentioned, he does have a shoulder cange. All you gotta do is take this section down and fold them out. They're fairly small, but who cares? That's accurate. As you can see, they have a very nice reflective silver bit in there. You can see it right there. You can angle these however you want. If you only want to have one out, I don't know why you would, but you can. You can angle these however pretty much you want. He had these in some episodes, and most of them he did not. For me, or in most people, this is more of a blue streak thing, and then Smokescreen had the really big shoulder cannons. This I like the look of. I think it looks very great, but I do like leaving them down in here. One, because I just like the look without them more, but I do like the look with them, and it kind of fills up this empty section down in here. But, again, very, very cool figure. This thing is everything that you could want in a Masterpiece Prowl. This thing is just... if you collect a even if you don't collect Masterpiece, man, you gotta get this. But, I'm gonna do a little bit of comparisons. So, here is Masterpiece Prowl. You have him with Optimus Prime, and you can see Optimus Prime is a lot taller, but that's G1 accurate. This is what they're going for with all these Masterpiece figures now is size scale. They want it to be all G1 accurate size scale, so that's why, our buddy Prowl here is shorter than Optimus, and Optimus is, of course, very, very tall. Now, when we get Masterpiece Bumblebee, I cannot imagine how small he's really going to be. He's probably going to be, like, this tall, which is going to be very, very funny. But, it's going to be awesome. But you can see how he scales with him. For another comparison, here is, again, he is next to Masterpiece Soundwave. Now, Soundwave kind of slouches back a little bit. He should really be like that. But as you can see, Prowl is still a lot shorter than him. Soundwave was a pretty big Decepticon. All Decepticons were pretty big and imposing. So, it makes... Prowl, he wasn't a small Autobot, but it makes sense that he's smaller than most... like Decepticons and Optimus Prime. So I think this size scale really does work very well. So there's your other Masterpiece figure size scales. So bringing Prowl back into the front. So not only does this guy look fantastic, but he scales very well with the other Masterpiece figures. Now, with the amount of articulation this guy has, you can really get him doing some very, very cool poses. I mean, just for a quick example... I mean, that's in itself is just very cool looking. I think, yeah, I got him looking up all the way. That's just very, very cool. I don't. His head really doesn't go up enough to have him doing a flying type pose like the Autobots did in G1. How they could really just fly through the sky, which is very weird. How they could just fly. Which, if all the Decepticons could just fly, I don't know why they needed a jet mode. But you know, whatever. That's just me rambling on. I do that way too much in my reviews. There I go again. But this really is just a fantastic looking figure, and it really does just look so great. I don't know if you even know if you can see this little red triangle right there, but this guy just looks so fantastic, and that head sculpt, that is phenomenal. Just look, that is, I think that's my favorite head sculpt I've ever seen in just a toy in general. That is so cartoon accurate. It's not fair. It's not fair how cartoon accurate that head sculpt is. It really does just look so Prowl-like, and I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, you can see he's got blue painted eyes. So I think now the right thing to do would, well, take out his gun, I guess, and take him and put him back into his vehicle mode. So I think first we're gonna start out with these legs. So I would put the arms up out of the way, put his head straight and him down, and then I would just do the legs first. That's what I usually do. You can take them. It's kind of a nuisance sometimes, honestly. Flip that out, and then flip that out. Fold that panel down all the way. Take this leg and accordion it up into himself like that. Take the window, rotate that up, make sure that was actually rotated up a little bit before, and then take this, take that, and peg that back in. Do the same on the other side. Rotate this out, and then you can take this window, and you can just flip that up. Take this, and then make sure that panel is rotated down, and then, like I said, a little bit cumbersome, but you can do it. Peg that in right there, or actually, I'm sorry, I'm terribly, terribly sorry. Fold this up first, before you do that. Make sure you do it before you do that, and then you can peg that in. There we go. And then you can take these legs, and then you have my permission to peg them together. Take that, fold those all the way in, fold those all the way down, and then, well, I apologize, because one thing I probably should have done first was flip his waist around. After you flipped his waist around, what you want to do is you want to come up here, come into his back section, and then just kind of take out that front section of the car, and kind of just leave that like so. And then you got to separate his chest section. Now, you really do feel like you're going to break this when you're pulling this, and yeah, you will. But, no, you're not going to break it. You will feel like you are going to, though. But you just got to pull hard enough, and it gives you a really bad feeling, but you got to detach his chest section, and then flip that flap out, and then take his arms, and then rotate those down like so. And then you kind of got to take the arms, get them out of the way, and then take these little window sections that we flipped under before, and flip those up. Flip these doors down. Oops, sorry, you couldn't see. Down, and then you want to take his head, bring that back inside, if it would go inside, and then at this point, you can put the doors in. If they would go in, there we go. And then you can, this is a problem. I didn't put these shoulder cannons in before I transformed it. Oh, I cheated. I pushed it all the way in. Alright, so there we go. And then this will slot into there, and that will all clip down, and now all we have left is pretty much the arms. So you want to take that flap section that covers his head, flip that down, and then you want to get his arms to look in like this, where the tires are facing out, and then his arms are in like that, and then you want to flip the arms in like that, peg this together, and then in cohesive, well, there's actually two little tabs right there that his arms will slot into. Slot those in, And here you have Prowl back in his Nissan Fairlady mode. So, yeah, if you guys collect the Masterpiece Transformers line, this is an absolutely wonderful, wonderful figure. It has an absolute fantastic vehicle mode, fantastic robot mode, and a very it's an easy transformation, but it does deliver what you would expect from a Masterpiece figure. And if you like Prowl, you're going to love this so much. So, alright guys, thanks for watching the video review of the Takara MP-17 Transformers Masterpiece Prowl, and have a great day.